very difficult story. I have a confession. I am a bigamist. If any of you ladies carry sal volatile in your handbags, would you kindly call and see Christine? I think you may be in need of it. This all happened many years ago, when I was taking tea at the Mansion House in London with the Lord Mayor at the time. And one of my fellow guests was the Edwina Mountbatten. And we were both autograph hunters. So we swapped autographs. Hers was a magnificent signature, perhaps so long. And she asked me if I got the autograph of the Bishop of Hong Kong, which I hadn't. She thereupon stood up, and in a voice that reverberated throughout the whole of the Mansion House, she said, "Has anyone seen Hong Kong?" But alas, Hong Kong had gone. Move forward a few years, and I am serving my Queen in the Royal Navy. And at this particular point, I am serving my Queen in Gibraltar in the dockyard. And I am walking along a pier with 2 buckets of gash. You may not know what gash is, but you can guess. I have to dispose of it at the end of the pier. I realise the dockyard has gone quiet. I look around. There is no one to be seen, not even a seagull. And then at the end of the pier, I see the sun reflecting on burnished gold. So much gold I have never seen before. I probably never will again. And then I realize the reason for the quietness. The gold is the reflection on the gold, on the arms and the cap. Admiral of the fleet, Lord Louis Mountbatten, is walking towards me with his entourage of admirals, commodores, commanders, and even humble lieutenants. As we approach, me with my gash, he with his entourage, I have to decide what to do. And for once in my life, I didn't panic. As we passed, I gave a smart eyes right. And at that moment, our eyes met for a brief flash of a second, mano a mano. And it was Lord Louis' privilege to return my salute. That was my personal salute from Lord Louis. That night, I was celebrating, enjoying life on the mess deck with my shipmates. You know, we were playing the fiddles, singing shanties, drinking rum and organising cockroach races, as was our wont. And I got a message. "Riley, report to the captain's cabin." Well, I did at the double. I was marched into the captain. "Lift right, lift right, lift right, hats off, name, DMX, 916956, Riley, sir." And the captain said to me, "Riley, you've been invited by Lord Mountbatten to join him for cocktails in his private suite on the battleship King George V. Get away, the launch will be here in half an hour, smart yourself." As I left the room, I can't vouch for this, but I have the memory of him saying, "What the hell's he sent for him for, not me?" Well, I go over to the King George V, find the suite, and do you know the first person I saw when I got there? Lady Edwina Mountbatten. "Hello, Peter," she said. "How lovely to see you again." And Lord Louis said, "Do you know him?" "Of course I do. He's our project," he said. "Our project." "What do you mean project?" said Edwina. "You know the project. When our Philip got married to Lilibet, it was our project. And it's Margaret's time now." But things have changed a bit since Philip's marriage. The Vox Populi wants a little bit of rough, you know. And this fella here, I've seen him, he's a bit of an oik, but we'll be able to do something with him. And from that moment, my life was transformed. I was whipped off my ship, and I was sent first of all to Dartmouth, then to Cranwell, then to Sandhurst. Of course, I got the Sword of Honour at all these 3 places. And my last educational experience was go to quite a wonderful finishing school for young ladies in Switzerland called La Rosée. Now, to get through the paratroops, the SAS and the commando courses was quite tiring. But I tell you, after a term at La Rosée, I have never been as exhausting. Well, while this was going on, Margaret and I were seeing each other. Nobody knew about it because of, you know, the Official Secrets Act and the fact that in those days a lady's name was never mentioned in the press. That's why you never heard of it. And we were getting on quite well until I began to think a little of the future. Now, in actuality, I've got through 40 years of married life by saying yes to it. But the very thought of having to say, yes, Your Royal Highness, at the same time as stepping backwards out of her presence, was more than I could stomach. So, in the end, we sort of grew apart on this. And she went off and she married a Tottenham photographer called Jones. And I married a lady I'd met through the finishing school. Now, she was brought up in the back streets of Naples, and she was called Sophia Loren.